When you read the news, you occasionally see headlines about the impending threat of climate change. Sea level rise, ocean acidification, stronger storms, and erratic weather all threaten our way of living. There are a few major sources of climate change, including livestock care, agricultural practices, and industrial production, but the use of fossil fuels stands out above all. Scientists attempt to reduce carbon emissions through clean energy alternatives, yet oil is still the dominant source of energy around the world. My name is Tim Liss, and today we are going to investigate wind turbine energy. With large amounts of misinformation in the public sphere about clean energy alternatives, what is the actual truth behind these giant metal fans? Since 2019, over 107 countries have joined the Net Zero Coalition hosted by the UN, which seeks to create completely carbon-neutral emissions throughout the world. Out of the many methods the UN suggested, wind farms are a primary target of criticism. In the United States, particularly, political movements halted or slowed the construction of wind farms. For example, the second Trump administration halted multiple wind farm construction projects with threats of federal funding withdrawal. But why are these farms considered undesirable? And are there any actual concerns with offshore wind energy?
But here, the biggest mammals in the world are dying in an unexplained way, and there's no curiosity. I think it's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
In 2023, Fox News aired a segment about the dangers of offshore wind farms. The previous year, videos of dead beached whales went viral on social media, claiming that the new offshore wind projects off the coast of New York were killing whales. Fox News propagated this story to millions of viewers without consideration of the facts behind the story. However, they were not completely wrong. A 2009 study from the Royal Society shows that blue whale communication is altered by the installation of wind turbines due to the loud quote-unquote pounding noise generated by pile drivers slamming into the ocean floor. In addition, construction of offshore wind farms on sandy seabeds generally results in a net loss of species, per a study from Strandor in 2024. Wind farms are also just as expensive to build. Building in remote areas without easy access is a risky investment, and without federal funding, offshore wind turbines are dead in the water. There is more nuance to the ecological discussion of wind farms. In the long term, their benefits outweigh their downsides. Carbon neutrality is a noble goal to pursue, as climate change is already occurring with our carbon emissions and is showing no signs of slowing down. Even in the short term, offshore wind farms provide structure for fish and invertebrates in the ocean. The same study that found that building offshore wind farms on sandy areas was harmful to biodiversity demonstrated that offshore wind farms were beneficial to biodiversity on harder sediments. Wind farms can also curb previous damage from human activities. Areas heavily fished by trawling nets, which scrape up the bottom of the ocean in order to collect seafood, saw biodiversity recover due to the reintroduction of ocean floor structure. While offshore wind farms cannot be the only alternative energy source to oil, it is certainly a tool humanity should use to reduce its impact on the global ecosystem. I hope this gave you a comprehensive overview of offshore wind farms, the truth, the misinformation, and the nuance to the situation. My name is Tim Liss. Thanks for listening.